Okay, guys, welcome to My Broken Chains. This is Lauren Shaw, and today we're doing another live tech training. And today, what we're going to learn about is how to install WordPress locally on your computer. So, in other words, you'll be able to build your website on your laptop. It won't be live on the internet. You're just using this particular website build to just get started, and what you build from this will go on to your live server. So this is the first step that you take into going and building your website. Don't worry, you won't have to do this all over again once you have to go live. Everything's already built, and this will be a process that you do regularly, making sure that you make your changes locally and then you upload them to the live server once they're done and you know they work. So this is a great way to test. This is a great way to make sure that whatever changes that you make, they work properly and you don't put them live on your site when they don't work and things break. Because when things break, that means that you lose users, customers, visitors. People leave the site and people get frustrated and angry with the user experience, and you don't want that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to download Zamp. Zamp is the application that we're going to use to start the server locally on your computer, and we're going to download the Windows version. You can download it if you have Linux or a Mac, because this is a cross platform application and it works for all operating systems. And I'm going to download the Windows version. I already have it downloaded actually, but when you download it, when you click the download button, this download dialog comes up, and then you save it into whatever folder that you choose to save it in, and then go ahead and install it. So right now, I'm going to go to the installation, my downloads folder. Okay, it looks like I don't have a way to get that up, but it's probably gonna show up like way late. But here's the file, so I'm gonna double click that and start the installer, because this is gonna take the longest amount of time to install. So I wanted to do that now. And we're going to make sure that I have my C drive up. Okay, that's fine. So it says it seems you're running an antivirus it seems you have antivirus running. In some cases, this may slow down or interfere with installation of the software. Please visit the following link to learn more about this. We don't need to do that right now. We know what we're doing. The antivirus software may make things run slow, but if you have a sufficient amount of RAM, everything should be fine. We're going to continue with the installation. Important, because an activated user account control on your system, some functions of Zamp are possibly restricted. Okay, that's fine. So now we're going to start the setup wizard. We're going to click next, and we want to uncheck FileZilla FTP server, Mercury mail server, Tomcat, Perl, Webalizer, and fake send mail. We only want PHPMyAdmin. That's going to be one of the database builders that we use. PHP, we want to use that because that's how WordPress will work. And then MySQL, that will host the databases that we create. And Apache, we definitely want that. That's a given. It's always grayed out because it's a default. So the folder that we want to install it in is the Zamp folder, which will be located on our C drive, which we have right here. This is our C drive. You'll see a Zamp folder show up right down here. So let's go ahead and do that. Click next. And we don't want Bitnami because we already are installing WordPress manually. So we want to uncheck this and click next. Matter of fact, as soon as we get done with this setup, we're going to go and download WordPress. So setup is now ready to begin installing Zamp on your computer. Let's do that. Now it will install. It will take a little minute to get that done, but we're going to let that go. And we're going to download WordPress. I already have WordPress downloaded, but you can download it yourself. When you click that, first off, you just go to wordpress.org and there will be a button that says, download WordPress, and you click that. And now it takes you to the download page, and you just click download WordPress button again. And then it will make you save a WordPress zip file. And you save that wherever you want to on your hard drive and extract the zip file wherever you have it downloaded. So here I have WordPress downloaded into my web folder, and it comes out is just WordPress. That the file that'll come out is just WordPress out of this zip file here. So I'm going to double click that and go into it. I can't seem to click things properly today. Okay, so now I'm going to hold down Control and click A and select everything on here. And we just want to leave that there for now because we're not going to be messing with it until a few minutes after the Zamp installation is done. And the last thing that I want you to download is Sublime Text 2. You could go to sublimetext.com/2 and the download page will come up. And then you could download any one of these here for Linux, Windows, or Mac. I'm going to download the Windows 64-bit. You could find out if your laptop or PC is 64 bits or 32 by going to Control Panel, System and Security, and System, and then it'll say it under the system type, and it says 64-bit operating system. So the other way you could go to your Control Panel is by clicking in the search bar and typing in Control Panel, or if you're on Windows 7, you could just click the Windows button, and then I believe there will be a Control Panel link in the start menu. For Windows 8 people, I think you'll probably have to use the search bar when you click the Windows logo, and then there should be a search bar down at the bottom, I believe. I can't remember how Windows 8 works with that, and I didn't really use that window thing. I used an app that had a mockery of a start button. But anyway, yeah, so you download Sublime Text 2 and install that because you want to be able to use Sublime Text to make edits to whatever files in WordPress are downloaded. So right now, while we wait for Zamp to finish, it's already done. So Zamp is done, and we want to start the Control Panel now. So we want to finish this, and the Control Panel will start. And we want to save it as English because we speak English. And so now the Control Panel comes up. So the very first thing we want to do is start Apache. And this right here, we want that to be green. not red or anything like that. And all the text down here, we want all of that to be blue and black, no red. If it shows up red, you have to do some troubleshooting. You could send me an email at lshaw@mybrokenchains.com if you run into any problems and you need a little bit of help. I can definitely help you figure out how to get that server running properly. Then we want to start the MySQL server. And now that we have both of those running, we're good to go because they're both green. And the next thing that we want to do is set up a database. So we're going to, on the second line, the second row, MySQL row, the second button, admin, we're going to click that. And it's going to bring up a web page that is hosted locally by Zamp. And it will bring up your PHP MyAdmin database setup. So we could go with any one of these databases, but we're going to create a new one. So we'll go to databases in the first tab and create a database. The database name, we're going to make that WP demo. So it's all lowercase, and we want to make sure that we remember that it's all lowercase and one word. And we're going to create. Database has been configured. All right, we're good to go with that. So now, since we've got the control panel and everything set up, what we want to do after this is go to WordPress, and we're going to that WordPress folder, and we have everything selected. Make sure everything is selected, and then we're going to click Control, hold down Control, and click C to copy. Now what we're going to do is go to the folder where Zamp is, and this is the C drive. And of course, remember, we made sure that the Zamp folder was installed in the C drive. So now we got the C drive here. We went into the Zamp folder. And now we're going to go into the htdocs folder. So this is where your HTML documents are kept locally. Now we want to create a new folder. We're going to call this WP demo. So now we have that folder created, and we're going to double click into it so we could go into that folder, and we're going to hold down Control and press V to paste the WordPress, everything, the contents in the WordPress folder, and paste them into this folder. So that'll take a few more seconds and we're done. All right, so now we've got that done. And what we want to do now is we have this WordPress config sample PHP file here. So we want to click that. So we want to right click on it and then open it with a different program. So we have Notepad. We can, if you don't want to download Sublime Text 2 or maybe even Notepad++, then you could just use Notepad to modify these files. I like to use Sublime Text, and I scroll all the way down until I get to see Sublime Text, and I don't see it here. So I'm going to have to look for this app on the PC. Oh boy. This takes a little second because I can't always find it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, yeah, sublimetext.exe. We're going to click open. And now all of these files are going to be open with Sublime Text, of course. And we're waiting for that file to come up. Here we go. This is the file. So The good thing about Sublime Text, which is different from Notepad, is we get these numbers on the side here. So that makes it a little bit easier to pinpoint where you are on the page. Whereas Notepad, those numbers don't show up and you just kind of have to figure it out. But, you know, I know how to find that kind of stuff, but it makes it just a little bit easier. It's always helpful to have, you know, something else to help you. So we're going to put the database name here. So remember in PHP My Admin, we created the database name, WordPress demo. So we got WP demo. We want to make sure that's exactly the same as what we have here. So we're going to type in WP demo. Now we got that done. And for the username, we want to type in root. And for the password, we want to leave that blank. And we want to leave this as localhost and leave this as UTF-8. So all of that is now okay. Everything should be fine. We want to make sure we save this, but we're going to hold down Control and Shift and then press S because we want to save this as a different file. And here it says wp config sample.php. We want to get rid of the sample part and just leave wp-config.php. That's what we want. And we want to save that. So it saved it in the same place. Should not have saved it in the WordPress file. I should have saved it here in the C drive. So we have wp config sample php, and let's try wp config. Make sure that it's there and everything is up to date, just like we set it up. Okay, so now we're gonna exit out of that because we finished setting that up. And now we're going to test to make sure it works. So now what we're going to do is go type in localhost in the browser /wp demo / and that should take us to the website to start setting up WordPress. Okay, so we have the installation set up, ready to go. And now we're going to click English and continue. And then for the site title, we'll just type in WP demo. The username will be admin. And you don't have to put in a very complex password or anything. I just put something like 12345 in there and then confirm use weak password because this is local. Nobody's going to be really trying to take anything from this. Nobody can really get into it. So it's no big deal. Then you want to type in your email. And we're going to discourage search engines from indexing the site because it won't really matter. It's localhost, so it won't make a big difference. Okay, so after you make sure that you fill out all of that information and then click install WordPress, then you want to log in with your username and chosen password, and I'm going to use the simple crappy password that I created, and then click remember me and log in, and you should be in your dashboard. And we've got everything set here. So we got all the stuff we need: posts, media, pages, comments, appearance, plugins, users, tools, and settings. And we're going to go through all of this stuff pretty much step by step, category by category, week by week. So right now we've learned how to install WordPress locally. And then we're going to start learning next week, probably working with the theme. And then after that, we'll learn plugins. And then after that, we'll learn how to, work with the menus and navigation and stuff like that. And then embedding videos or posting pictures and photos, things like that. So next week, we'll start with the themes and maybe plugins a little bit. So, yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this tech training, and I hope it was very helpful for you, because I might have stumbled a few times with this, but hopefully that you guys got all the information. If you have any questions, you can email me at lshaw, LSHAW at mybrokenchains.com. There should be a contact link on the website at mybrokenchains.com, and you could just send an email through that. So we'll see you next week for the next live free tech training. And next week we'll be talking about WordPress and how to work with themes and plugins. All right. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next week.